Hello and congratulations on getting access to this video course. I'm going to go and jump right in. And this is video number 1, the introduction, and we're going to also talk about the recommended retargeting networks. First things first, I want to talk about mindset briefly. I really want you to focus on the quality over the quantity. So don't worry about creating as many campaigns as possible. As you go through the video course, you'll realize that there are many different ways to create campaigns, different segments, and things like that. But I really want you to focus on just one at a time. The more specific, the better. And in terms of higher conversions, that's really what it comes down to. The more specific your segments are going to be, the more specific your campaigns are, the better. Now, you really have to put yourself in your prospect's shoes in order to really be able to experience it yourself and understand exactly what they want. If you can do all that, it's really not hard. It's not rocket science. If you can do that, it will actually be easier for you. Now, I've split this video course into 2 different sections. We have the basic fundamentals and the strategies that I will need to cover first. And then after that, you can, of course, take those strategies and then, of course, implement them. And it's time to take action. So first things first, of course, this is video number 1. We have video number 2, which will talk about retargeting frequency. The number 1 thing that you want to avoid, because this is a defining between annoying and, reminding. You can remind people about your site, about your discounts, about whatever you want to remind them of, but you can get it to a point where it just becomes plain annoying. And you don't want to get to that point because it'll hurt your brand. When it comes to retargeting, we see it ourselves. We see sites using retargeting. We're seeing ads over and over again. So there's a time between, okay, that's awesome, that ad reminds me of a place that I visited, or it stalks me for over a long period of time. It becomes annoying, and there's that negativity that comes into play. So I'll talk more about that in that specific video. Video number 3, we're going to talk about how to increase your conversions overall. Video number 4 is going to be the frontline retargeting strategy. The strategy basically focuses on the front line, meaning anytime you pre-sell your products, you pre-sell your landing page, your sales page, your product, whatever, that is involved in all of that. So I'll show you more in detail exactly what the strategy is about, and it'll be more clear about how powerful it can really be. So that specific video will focus on that. And of course, video number 5, we will focus on the deep funnel retargeting strategy, which focuses in on your customers. So we got the front line. After somebody becomes a customer, what then? How frequent should you show your ads? Stuff like that. And then, of course, we dive in and we talk about video number 6, which is ad creatives. Creating your ad is crucial, but you don't really want to focus way too much time on it. But I'm going to talk about sizes that convert really well, how to go about increasing your conversions when it comes to ads, different stages of ads, which will make more sense when I show you in just a minute. And then, of course, after I've covered the basic fundamentals and the concepts, which are mainly PowerPoint slides and mind maps, then I jump into screen capture. And then I can actually show you exactly what to do when it comes to ad roll, which is what we'll be using as the retargeting network. More on that in just a minute. Then, of course, we have video number 8, which is talking about how to create your retargeting segments. This is just really, really easy stuff. Once you understand the fundamentals, it's just super easy to implement. And then, of course, last but not least, we'll talk about, in video number 9, how to create your general campaign properly. So this is basically how it works in terms of retargeting. Somebody comes to your website. This is the surfer. They come to your website, they look around, and this can be your front page or this can be your lead capture squeeze page. It doesn't matter. They come to your site, they leave, and then they happen to see your ad that relates to the site, and you definitely want to be congruent. If you can stick with being congruent, you want to make sure that you do that because when they see your ad, they are reminded, hey, I visited that site. If your ad and your site are not congruent, then what ends up happening is they don't know what the ad is for and they might not click it. So you definitely want to keep that in mind in terms of increasing your ad click-through rates. And of course, they see your ad and then they can come back to your site. Now, when I show you the frontline strategy and the deep dive strategy, I think you're going to be impressed because these are strategies that you will be able to use, and out of the box strategies that will definitely increase your conversions. All right, so let's talk about recommended tools. I want you to start with adroll.com. So if you want to go there now, you can. We'll cover that later down the road in video number 7. But once you master adroll.com, then I'd highly recommend that you use other retargeting networks. Now, at the time of watching this video, AdRoll should be around. Now, let's say 10 years later, AdRoll may not be around. If that's the case, then all of what I teach you in this video course isn't necessarily limited to AdRoll. However, the concepts that I teach you can easily be applied to any other retargeting network. So I want to make sure that that's clear for the future. All right, so let's jump right in and jump into video number 2.